might not be as prio anymore, but Onic certainly still respects the potential for Skylar to make plays, aggressively and defensively using this hero. Along with that, banning the Yeve out is an approach we haven't seen as much. Usually teams have been focusing a lot more on Naomi, but I think Onic, they're confident that through execution, they can shut down the aggressive playmaking. And for RRQ, a Faramis ban. We haven't seen this in a long time.
Interesting choice. The NetherRealm was something that we were talking about with a lot of the analysts backstage. I personally mentioned that the Faramis and the NetherRealm itself, I don't think should be the main concern for RRQ, but it seems like for them, yeah, this is the main problem. It seems like usually, we see Kadidas, we see different heroes in the final ban in the first phase for RRQ. We've never seen a Faramis before.
I think it's just full respect here, maybe. That's what I'm kind of sniffing out here. Faramis being taken away, and that's why I felt like this matchup goes for a very peculiar banning phase in that first phase, because you don't see the normal Edith bans. We see just respect all around. Paquito taken away from Banana. You can see Claude taken away, Yeve away from Clay himself, and with that, it actually leaves open a lot of heroes that we deem as prio, right? RRQ are able to pick up the Kadita. That's going to be a huge, huge pick-off hero for RRQ in that early game. Whereas Onic, they're going for something a little bit safer. They're going for the Fredrin first, and I'm wondering if they're going to prioritize the Valentina, or are they going to be prioritizing the Bruno?
The Bruno. Well, the gold laner certainly has been very important. It seems like the Valentina will be the option that Onic will go for first. And this Fredrin, it might go to the jungle, but Onic is one of those teams in recent times who have been able to find success with a Fredrin in the EXP lane. For now, with RRQ, the other factor that people usually take advantage of is the narrow hero pool for Fersic in the jungle as well. With the Fredrin taken away, usually the Baxia comes to mind unless RRQ are intending on going for an assassin.
I think now it gets really, really tough for the side of Onic, because RRQ has a lot of different heroes to go for right now. Against the Fredrin, they can go for the Baxia. It's an answer to it. But wait, they go for the Edith. We've never really seen an Edith before. I think the last time RQ played Edith was what, Lemon? Right? Season 11. I remember the plays that he was able to make on this Edith, but it's still going to be the Baxia as expected. They want to try to win this jungle matchup, and against the Fredrin, it is a great pick. Thing is, for Onic, I don't know if it's going to be Fredrin jungle.
Right, it could be very well switched around. And on that note about Edith, you start to wonder if the alien was really onto something, before his time.
Pioneer.
Pioneer indeed, man. The alien showing again his extraterrestrial knowledge. For Onic though, usually they would hide the roamer. I think the roaming matchup is important right here, and both teams might just want to leave that up to the end, which is a bit more peculiar, but considering the caliber of the roamers, Kibo and Naomi, it's almost understandable completely from the get-go. Now with no gold laner available, with a gold laner secured for Onic, they can start to narrow down Skylar's hero pool, which is also a valid approach.
So let's take a look at the comment here by Keyboy. We definitely look forward to the match against RQ because we want our revenge. Remember the first time that they met here at MPLID Season 12, it was RRQ winning it 2-1. So of course there is some layer of a revenge here that they want to be able to get their hands on. But they don't go for a gold lane ban just yet. They go for the Yuzong instead. What are they planning on here with the Yuzong taken away?
I think they're planning to just play for the Bruno, facilitate the Bruno in the gold lane, and in these team fights, give CW the space necessary. Because with the Yuzong ban, that is a hero that RQ have been able to utilize with their dive compositions. They've already built up a Kadita and a Baxia. On top of that, if they add a Yuzong or even a Lapu Lapu, it will give them a lot of strength in these team fights.
Then now crowd control becomes even more important, because it seems like for both teams, it's going to be essentially still a front to back. Of course, RQ can try and use the Kadita to try and be an assassin to go in the back line, but for the most part, they might be relying on this Edith to output some damage as well. Onic now respecting Naomi's engaged presence. The only hero available left for him is the Cho, unless Onic wants to go and pick that off before.
And on that note, Keyboy actually has something to say about Naomi. He says that Naomi is skilled. He was already skilled before joining RRQ, so I need to focus on him. And I think we do all agree with that. I think we've been Just
M4, bro.
yeah, bro. Like, I don't think anyone can actually forget that performance. And with that being said, what are they planning here? Already respect coming onto Naomi. RRQ, what do they want to start limiting? Do they want to go for the same approach? Do they want to start limiting the roam as well? Oh, they go for Hellcurt instead.
Limiting assassins from Onic, not believing that this Fredrin will go into the jungle. Assuming your hero available still, it's going to be the Hayabusa though. Depending on who or what hero is actually going to be used in the gold lane by Skylar, it could still be a very good pick. But the Kaja is secured already. The Franco is available. Will Naomi go for it though? Or will this be a roaming Edith?
Wait, sorry, do you think that with the Hellcurt being banned out, RQ want to pick something crazy for that gold lane?
I don't think they want to go for something crazy. I think they just want to
standard
get...
Beatrix?
I would say it should be something standard like a Beatrix. But here, all right, we got another comment from Kyrie. Players to watch out for, according to Keyboy, is Naomi. And for me, Fair6 Baxia is really good. And they've left that open. So Coach Yeb definitely has something cooking for Kyrie in the jungle, or perhaps for Boots in the XP lane, depending on where the Fredrin goes.
All right, so it's going to be the Irithel and the Cho
There you
pickup
go.
for RRQ. And finally, we get to see, oh, that's such a strong pickup comp. And Onic, they double down with the X-Board.
That's a bit of a scary situation, man. RRQ, they have more mobility, more pickoff technically, and more burst damage. But Onic, they have a lot of heroes that are quite pesky to try and secure in a pickoff situation. So I think it's a bit more even, but keep in mind from the previous matches, the team that can be a bit more proactive usually has a bit of an edge, and Onic is the only team right here with a suppression. So we'll see if that becomes the defining factor of this game.
I mean, technically, oh no, you're right. Valentina's on Onic. All right, so I would say that both of these teams, with the composition that they have set for themselves, they have equal amount of tools to work with, right? It just really depends. I think RQ has a little bit of an edge for that early game. I think they're going to be able to pressure it with the Baxia rotation, with Kadida as soon as she hits that level 4, and of course Cho. So there's just so much presence for their pickoff. There's so much tools that they can utilize, but there's no way that we can discount Onic. They have Valentina. They have Valentina on Sans. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Royal Derby here. RRQ and Onic face off once again in a best of 3. Will we see the same outcome? Or have Onic repaired what they were unable to do back in leg number 1?
Well, this time there's no excuses for Onic. Sans is in the lineup. Last time, it wasn't Sans.
It was Albert, was it not?
Drian.
Oh, it was Drian. Well, right now, Onic, you can bet that they're going to be a lot more aggressive right here with their main roster, but we have to see what can RQ do, considering that there are 2 Purifies available on the side of Onic. You can see that already one has been used by Sans, and the rolling wheel from Fair6 will be a big problem for Onic in the early game at least.
I mean, Kyrie said it himself, right? He's so fearful of Fair6 on the Baxia. And we get to finally see why, right? The pressure that he's able to have in the early game, of being able to have a little bit of an advantage over Kyrie on the Fredrin, as, oh, Keyboy gets chunked really low. Is it going to be first blood just yet? It turns out just not. Keyboy still able to kite away, unless Naomi has something to say about it.
Deals a bit more damage, cancels the recall, delays it. And Kyrie, this is what Naomi likes to do. Keeping vision, keeping tabs on the Prio members. Unfortunately, unable to get a steal. Kyrie, a bit mad that happened, gets a good taunt, and now is doing the same thing Naomi did to Keyboy up top. CW forced to use the Purify. Skylar diving in. Gets a turret shot. Needs to eat that, and Clay gets out.
Seems like a bit of miscommunication right there, not going together at the same time. That could be dangerous, man, especially against Onic. We'll have to see. Meanwhile, with the quick rotations, it seems like in the lane, RRQ has a bit more pressure. Right? Onic has to be a bit more concerned, but already in the turtle, the fight is brewing over, and without ultimates, oh, actually, ultimates are already available, so RRQ, they have the Nature's Wrath to try and make more DPS.
Kyrie gonna be targeted down, everything used up, but Kyrie is still able to initiate or disengage from the initiation for now. Naomi, they've isolated him, forcing him back. He doesn't have the flicker too. It should be first blood, and Sans picks it up. First blood for the Sky Kings, and they want to look for more. Kyrie's really walking up onto the turtle. Retreat battle. Banana looking for an onward. A shatter comes in, but it doesn't matter. Kyrie still finds it. Rough Waves taking him low. Kyrie still sustaining for a bit, but Boots finds a trade back with the last Insanity. RQ1, Onic 2.
On paper, that should have been RRQ's just turtle to have, to win. How in the world are Onic able to do this time and time again? As, CW has to be careful on the top side.
The worldie was used up already. Skylar with a heavy crossbow, one more shot, and CW gets taken out. Skylar with a win up top.
Oof. RRQ just trying to hit back right now. In the gold lane, if they can really win out, maybe then Skylar can do something, but look at that, it's Banana.
Faraga armor taken out. Boots still able to get away. Recalls with a little bit of HP left.
Ooh, I think for both teams, right, the gold lane is going to be important, but Onic is a lot more used to playing with CW in the losing side. RRQ usually relies a lot more on Skylar, and on the Irithel, he's going to be a bit more mobile, but he is still susceptible to getting chunked down. And look at that passive though, Clay is completely abusing it.
Trying to force it out of Clay, has the Oddity and the Rough Waves to escape. On a low cooldown, so it is no problem. RRQ just playing it safe.
Let's talk about that, right? Back into that gold lane, but Keyboy already putting pressure here in the top lane. It looks like they might want to protect CW to get a little bit of that gold shield turret. He needs it to be able to get that snowball, unless Naomi says otherwise.
Purify though, it's a bait. Divine Judgment locks Naomi down. They baited him quite well, and CW is still able to escape. The heavy crossbow comes in. Skylar, one more shot should do it. He's in the bush. He plays with the vision, but Skylar is still able to find a trade. He will lose out on a minion wave though. Sans gets out of a 2v1. Versick and Clay held down by Gila Sans.
And that was like a moment of decision-making for Skylar, right? He's like, all right, I'm already this deep. If I go back, I'm going to die anyway. I might as well dive in, commit, and get that trade in. So it is a little bit more even in that sense, unless, Naomi.
Wow, good cancel on that. Could have been a good pickoff. Breath of the Ocean used up by Clay. Trying to disengage Naomi. Already very low. Earth Shadow Fletcher onto Kyrie. Going for the all-in with the Rough Waves as well. But the Brazers run and the retry! Kyrie! The god in the jungle. Clay now caught low. One more shot. CW gets a brace.
That is just unfortunate for RRQ. They grouped up together. They got hit by the Appraiser's Wrath. And at the same time, Kyrie was able to secure the turtle as well. Almost the worst case scenario for RRQ. They seem to be trying so hard to win in the pick-off situation, but the target to pick off is Kyrie on the Fredrin. So the choice to put Kyrie on a fighter, quote-unquote, is just really paying off hard for Onic right now.
Interestingly so, right? You can even see he's now a level ahead of Versick. He's been able to get more advantages in the Lord fights, being able to secure literally every single neutral objective so far. And RRQ, with what I thought was a more aggressive lineup, is actually falling short. 4,000 gold lead already for Onic. They've already gotten 2 turrets under the nose of RRQ. And 5 minutes, 6 minutes in, it's not necessarily the best scenario for RRQ, especially understanding that CW is on a Bruno with that particular item already secured.
Good cancel by Keyboy, just body blocking it right now, but look at the dive onto the back. CW gonna be caught as well. Way the Dragon locking him down. Purify trying to get him out, but Versick picks up a double. 2 kills for RRQ, 2 kills onto the jungler.
Not bad, something back on the board. And actually RRQ not done yet. It's gonna be Kyrie going in alone.
1v4, an absolute Chad. Psycho Kyrie with the help of Sans now. 2v4. They want to make this work. Naomi terrified in. Shunpu by Naomi, getting him out. Audience prediction by Samsung Galaxy S23 Series 5G, 74% towards RRQ.
Kingdom Pride, man.
Kingdom
you
Pride.
can't, there's nothing you can do about it, right? That's the amount of support that they have for their team. And it's paying off so far, right? Already #1 in the Classman, unless, of course, Onic are able to win this one. And here we go.
Sans with the Rough Waves and the Purify now onto Naomi. Wants to go for the kill. He gets it. Versick locking him down, but Sans gets out. Meanwhile, Onic. Kyrie's already on it now. Divine Judgment locking Skylar down. So able to find a kill with the help of Clay, getting the Rough Waves. Now it's Sans zoning Banana. Kyrie securing the final turtle of the game as Kyrie walks forward. Last Insanity slowing them down. The Earth Shatter connects, but Banana will be blown up by Boots.
RRQ, they were playing with momentum right here, but the moment they don't really get huge value, they don't get a decisive victory against Onic, they really struggle to pull back. This is a composition that can only move forward, and if they really want to win, they have to commit everything and leave nothing for the exit trip from the team fight. So Onic is playing it so well, and overall, it's been a trade in kills, but they've been securing the neutral objectives way more And with RRQ spending so much time and effort to secure kills, Onic has been translating that into turret advantages, and that is allowing them to actually seal the deal and prevent Naomi from actually going to their own jungle and finding information.
Question. Kyrie holding the Brave Smite emblem here. We usually see Quantum Charge from a lot of junglers. Why Brave Smite in this position?
I think he is preemptively expecting a lot of bursts coming his way, but look at Banana.
Going in, getting chunked, Fairstick with the flank already. CW still free, hitting in the back of Skiboy. Runs away, Clay! Beautiful rough waves, but CW purifies out of it. Kyrie still walking forward, isolating Fairstick. A good breath of the ocean. Onto 2. Boots, zoning Naomi, and RRQ, and Onic disengage.
That's the Purify, man. It was so difficult. Even if RRQ get the perfect flank around, gets the Petrify, they need to cycle the crowd control, because otherwise Onic will not waste that Purify and, you know, not save it for critical moments like that. So RRQ are the ones that are forced to try and make something happen, and Onic, they can just react pretty well right here.
You can see that actually just coming into fruition so far. I thought it would be difficult for Sans in particular. Sans forced on the Purify, and we see he uses his IMU mostly on play, and without a flicker, usually it's really hard to land, but I guess that's Sans for you.
I think Onic did a great job drafting here because they were expecting the Kadira pick. It's a bit of a prio pick for RRQ right now, but if you look at their roster, very few members are actually valid targets. 2 Purifies and a Firaga armor. Realistically, he can only use that, he can only attempt to pick off Keyboy or Kyrie, and both also aren't exactly ideal.
I guess you could play with the timers maybe, right?
Well, yes, but I think Onic will play around the timers as well. And now, with full control here, RRQ just trying their best to secure some info, go for a pick-off.
Free Lord. Nothing they can do about it. Banana jumps in with the onward. Even the Primal Rat, but Sans does the same thing. He can copy whatever you try to do. Boots, look at this damage. Skylar getting some good chunk of damage as well. Onto Boots. Now Kyrie walking up. Just dashing forward, taunting the RRQ members and backing away.
Literally nothing RRQ can do up until this point. They're just gonna watch all their turrets burn and fall like ashes here. Onyx just slowly but surely, not even any crazy plays just yet in this 10th minute of the game. But that gold lead alone is enough for RRQ to be captured in their own base as we take a look at their in-game items.
Well, Sans definitely has a lot more damage. He went for the Enchanted Talisman as well, understanding that he might want more mobility considering that he is on the Purify. But now with the base turrets as their main target, we'll see if Naomi can make something happen. If there's any location to go for a big play, this is it, man. They want to go and get a fight before the Lord becomes too big of a problem and guarantees that the base turrets do fall.
Boots is a heck of a frontliner now. Has a Firaga armor, Divine Judgment. Going on to Fairstick, and he gets melted down just like that. Clay jumps in, but he does no damage now. The last instant into the back, and a full dive. An explosion takes 2, and they're looking for more. Skylar and Naomi, the 2 members left from the kingdom. Sans cutting it, trying to look for some more. They're gonna go straight for the base right now as Naomi jumps into the GQ, but it's gonna be dodged away from. Naomi gets outplayed. It's another kill for CW and Sans. 11 minutes and 29 seconds.
Was all it took for them to be able to dominate